exactly your favorite podcast is Full Coverage with your host, Laura Lee and...
Manny, M-U-A. Manny, M-U-A. Manny, M-U-A.
So today's episode is going to be us giving you guys advice. We've decided it's time.
It's time for an advice column.
And this is advice that you technically did ask for.
You asked for it, but should you listen?
That part we don't know.
That is the reality of the situation at hand. This is called full coverage for a reason.
And the full is
so we are going to be
spelled
giving our full...
with two O's. So.
With two O's. We're going to be giving our full advice on certain things, on what you guys asked. I actually screenshot around 10. Laura screenshot around 10, so she doesn't know the ones I have, and I don't know the ones that she has, so it's going to be off the cuff advice.
Thank you guys for contributing and asking us for advice. I have quite a few different topics,
Same.
As does Manny. But first, y'all already know where we're going to start. Today, we're going to do our peaks and our pits.
Peak and pit of the week.
I want to start with my peak.
Please.
Okay, so I was on a plane ride coming back from Alabama, and they had a season of Survivor. I'm a big Survivor fan. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Girly.
I'm a Survivor
I wonder
girly.
if they know. Do they know that?
I don't think you guys know that about me.
Laura is, though.
I'm the TV show Survivor.
Yep.
I'm a real one.
You are.
Okay.
That was me in high school.
Was it? Was that your era?
That was my era. When
I go in and out of mine because there's 43 seasons.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
how many have you seen?
I have probably seen, Ty, how many do you think I've seen? Like 15 seasons? At least.
That's gag.
That's pretty good.
That is gag.
So I go in and out of my Survivor kicks. Like I'll burn through like 5 seasons and then take like a year off and then get back in there. So I just went, it was on the plane. So I was like, oh, Survivor. So I immediately started watching and then I got hooked again and I've blown through like 5 seasons. I'm not going to lie. But anyways, I've decided.
It activated you again.
I got activated. And this is a peak because I love Survivor. I was so happy to be activated. But I was on live the other day on TikTok and they were like, would you ever do a reality TV show? And I was like, yeah, I would do Survivor. But...
Would you though?
Y'all,
you have to shit in the ocean, Laura.
That is literally the least of my worries. I have no issue whatsoever
shitting in the ocean?
in the woods or the ocean. No, I don't care. I'll literally do it. Don't care.
You'll do it in the water.
My problem is not eating for 4 or 5 days, girl.
That'll get you.
I know it would get me because like even one of the girls was saying like, hey, Survivor's real. Like we didn't get to eat for like the first 4 or 5 days, like a meal, like anything at all, like zero. We only had water. And she said I couldn't even take 3 steps without fainting.
No.
She said the migraines are so real because you're cold turkey cutting off your body for food like that. She's like, you can barely function out there. So she was like, they don't really show that as much on TV. You know, they show the parts where you're talking and doing the challenges, but they don't show the parts where you literally can't even stand up because you're gonna faint. So that part is the part I think it would get me. I think the show would get me.
It would get you.
Like I think it would.
House.
When she said that, I was like, fuck.
Shout out to FabFitFun for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys. Sign up for fabfitfun.com/full. Customize your box and get access to discounts up to 70% off on brands like Fenty, Free People, Our Place, to name a few. Not in love with this season's options? Take the credit to shop their exclusive flash sales of up to 70% and save on the biggest name brands out there. If you join FabFitFun as a new seasonal member right now, you'll get up to 20% off your membership. So your first box is only $47.99 for up to a $300 value box each season. But only while supplies last. FabFitFun boxes do sell out. So join FabFitFun today and save at fabfitfun.com/fool. That's fabfitfun.com/fool. So then at what point is it where like the show becomes like responsible for people's well-being?
You know that those fuckers make them sign a waiver that is the size of your house.
By the Bible.
But the size of the Bible. You know that they cover themselves. They've done this for 43 years, so they're covering themselves in every legality way. So they can do whatever they want to
so
out
scary.
there.
And it's so sad.
Like, well, you sign up for it.
That's true.
And you know, like everybody knows what Survivor is, but the thing is, on live, they were like, you should do it with Manny. And I literally said, that is the last human being on this earth I would do it with because you would blow my social game. Like, you would blow me. Yeah, you would wreck it for me.
Why?
Because listen, you have to be good at two things to win Survivor. You have to be good at the challenges, which a lot of that could be like the puzzles and stuff, which I do think, and a lot of the strength challenges,
you would slay that, Laura. The puzzles you would slay.
But the strength challenges, I wouldn't.
Right.
You also have to be really, really, really good at social. And I was like, I would never go on Survivor if Manny was cast that season because his social game, he's a sneaky devil.
What? Please elaborate. No, let's get up into this gig.
Let's get in there. I would never do Survivor with you.
Elaborate.
You're a sneaky devil. Like they always vote young people out if they have a strong social game and they're clever. Like if you're young, they'll vote your ass out quick because they know you're powerful. Like young people, and so they just assume, which they make the mistake of doing this often, that older people don't have a strong social game, and they do. We do.
But we're not young.
We would be considered. We're not with like
Survivor?
The 50 and 60 year olds.
Oh,
we would be young for, we'd be considered like the younger people on the show. They don't have like 12-year-olds on there. It's mostly like 20, 30-year-olds, and then there are a lot of older people do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like I would have to literally play down my social game big time. And me and you, we would be going at it.
Because would I flop? Is that why?
No, you do good.
I feel like I'm good at that stuff, though.
That's the problem. If they catch you being good, they'll vote you off. Like if they're like, oh, he's made friends with everyone here. Oh, he's laughing and happy with everyone here.
That's bad?
Yes, you can't be letting them see you do that. If they like you,
that's who I am, Laura.
You're a threat,
and that's why you gotta go.
Flop. So the game of Survivor is so tricky because it's not everything you think you'd be good at will send your ass home.
It's the opposite of Survivor.
It's the opposite.
How is this your peak?
So this is...
Wait, I was like, wait.
I guess my peak was really that I got back into the kick of it.
About Survivor.
And we trailed, because I got asked on live. They were like, you and Manny should do it. And I was like...
Manny would flop.
I was like, let me think about that. No, Manny would get me sent home.
First of all, not only that...
You would get me sent home.
Me not eating for 4 days...
Oh.
You want to talk about social game, baby? Listen, I'll be a fucking cunt.
There will be...
If I was on Survivor and I didn't eat for 4 days, baby, it's a wrap for everyone there and everyone would be killed.
Manny's so sweet and it loves everybody. This motherfucker hadn't eaten in 4 days. Y'all better start running.
You better start running.
Y'all better start running. I'm going to tell you something.
Trust and believe.
I know for a fact I would be so irritable.
Absolutely.
And angry. I would be like...
No, I'd want to destroy.
Literally if someone looked at me the wrong way and I haven't eaten in 4 days. Maybe we would both go home.
Honestly, we would go home first.
They'd be like, get them out of here.
They'd be like, okay, it's a wrap for those two. They have to go.
Got it.
But you know what's funny? When I did a reality house, when I did it, I was not voted one time to go home. The only person in the whole entire thing that wasn't voted to go home, not even once, was me.
Oh, that's amazing.
My social game is this.
You people pleased your way through that, didn't you?
Sure did.
Yeah, I know it. And that's why I wouldn't play Survivor with you. Because I said Manny would do strong at the challenges. I know there are certain challenges in my toxic trait. I know there are certain challenges I would nail because a lot of them are just doing a puzzle.
Yes,
or
and you're good
it ain't about being strong. It's about being meticulous.
I can do strong things-ish.
Yes.
Totally.
No, totally. You would
I could do good in some things.
because you're competitive.
And
so I know that would kick in if you were on a team and y'all all trying to win something. It would kick in. But the social game is where we would get one another. I'd be like, send him home. Y'all, I think we should vote Manny.
Laura, you would not.
Yes, I would because that's how you win.
Laura, you cannot vote me out of Survivor.
That's how you win.
We have to make it to the top 2.
You can't because then they wouldn't respect us for doing that.
Oh, you're right.
That's how Survivor goes.
What we would do, we would go into it not pretending we don't know each other.
Exactly. Well, I already have a game plan. I would go into it playing like a dumbass bitch.
Like bimbo-y, oh my God.
I love makeup.
I'm an influencer.
I wouldn't tell them that. I would lie. I would lie.
You just live in LA.
I live in LA and I love makeup. And
everybody's a princess.
Like I'm dumb. But I would be like a shark underneath it all.
You would be killing. And the thing is, you're so beautiful.
Oh.
That the thing is, I know that
on Survivor, I wouldn't be got my grade. Botox would be gone.
I take it back.
You take it back right now.
No.
You're worse on this show.
But the thing is, regardless, you're pretty.
Your beard would be down to here because you can't shave for 30 days.
Oh my God, my beard would be to here, Laura. How do you know what I would do?
It would be
I would be one pelt. I would be one pelt. My body would be one pelt of hair.
My gray hair would be like this.
No, not the grays. You would die the second before you left.
Out of here. The
Oh
second.
my God, I didn't even
The
think about
day
that.
the plane leaves, I'd be washing out my hair
You
dye.
have to.
my-
Laura, you would literally be storm up in
And
there.
you can't bring a toothbrush.
So what the fuck you want to
They
teeth with?
take pieces of bamboo and they scrape the teeth, but you're not eating much out there anyway. So
But what about like
no
floss?
No floss. One person I saw on TikTok, he was on Survivor and he put floss in the lining of his shorts, and so he could
Genius.
floss. But like you would have to like sneak it. You can get kicked off the show for bringing contraband.
Can you bring you can't bring things on, I'm assuming.
You can
Is that
bring
part of
like a couple, like a jacket, like a couple pair of shoes, I believe,
Okay.
a swimsuit, a sports bra. But I think they have a big list of common things that you would be bringing,
But you
but they
cannot bring
don't
them.
because they want for the sakes of the
What about
show.
deodorant?
Mm-mm.
That's actually when you have biggest kicker.
Stinky.
I can't. What about my anxiety medication?
No.
My Prozac.
I don't think you can.
They must. If someone's
Okay,
schizophrenic, Laura,
what is
they're gonna have their
lithium?
medication.
Lithium.
Lithium? Huh.
Because someone had to go home because they had to take it, and they said you can't like have that out there or whatever.
Lithium. I don't actually know what lithium is.
Yeah, it was like the last season I just watched.
And they had to get taken. They had to go home. Why?
I don't know. I guess there's somewhere in there. I don't know all the contractual
Huh.
rules with the show,
I'm
but
so curious, like to know what is
I
on
was
it.
shocked.
But I think in my mind I would be so slay because I know I could do such a good social game.
I feel like
I am
you
that kind
would
of
be
girl.
so much in a different element that I don't know that you would need your medication because
True.
you wouldn't be in LA. You wouldn't be working with your brand and people and events and like this life. Like you would literally be in nature, like
Right.
truly. And yeah, sure, there would be times, but I think it'd be such a different environment for you that like maybe you may benefit from not having it in a way. Like
True.
maybe it makes your
Yeah.
spidey senses go off
They
more
tingle.
and like you start to see and notice more on people. And
I start to tick.
yeah, that
I
could be
start
good.
I start to morph into an animorph.
The
I start
way-
to grow fangs,
The way
Laura, without
I
my
would literally
Prozac.
probably be I would literally be like, I think we should send me home tonight because I'm so
I'm
hungry.
actually very.
You
Laura, let me
know
tell you something.
what?
I'd be
You know-
growing gills without my medication.
Girl.
I would be growing gills. I don't know what would happen to me. I'm very scared.
I feel like
but
you
that
would
sounds
do
like really
good.
fun though.
I know.
Horrible, but fun.
See, I got all up in it. When they had said that on live, I got all up in it.
You're
And I
like,
thought that
damn,
would have
yeah.
bring that to your attention.
I'm glad you did because it really brought us to a new world for us on Full Coverage here.
I did.
Like it really opened up my. What about Big Brother?
I've
you do
never
Big Brother?
watched Big Brother, so
I
I
used to
don't
be-
know
when I
how it
watched-
goes.
When I watched Survivor is when I was watching Big Brother as well. So I was like in that that time in my high school span. It was my competitive reality TV era.
But you're just not dealing with the elements of living on an island with nothing. Is that what Big Brother is? The same thing,
So
but
it's all you're in a
without the
house.
elements.
Instead you're in a house, but it's similar in the way like you're competing, social game. You have competition.
Just no homeless and shelter.
Exactly.
Like none of those elements, which would make it so much easier if you got to eat.
But also like no other people. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like the house like will
It's
say
just the
things.
social and like
Yes.
it's
You just have to
the
live with people.
social and the physical
Competitive.
challenges games. You just take out the whole survivor part.
Exactly.
It's
You just
like
have to
they give
live.
you food and toothbrushes in a house.
You can bring your own stuff.
Oh, okay.
You gotta have your stuff in there.
I feel like, I mean, sure, I would do it because why not?
Why not?
But-
Laura, if you got casted on there, you don't understand. I would be campaigning every week to make sure you were staying in that house. I don't know what the fuck we got to do.
I'm
if
like,
it's a
in the house,
voting
let me
thing.
go home.
I'm like, nope, you're
Let
staying
me
until you get the prize money and you win
Wow.
the fucking thing.
All
I'd make
right.
sure
Well, there
that you
you
were not
have
voted.
it.
But what if someone recognized you and they clocked you?
Dude, that's what I'd be scared of on Survivor. If they clocked me out.
They clocked you, you'd be
Because I
wrecked.
would
You're
go
going
in
home first.
lying. Most people on the show, like if they're a
You're going
psychiatrist or a therapist or anything like that, they lie.
Absolutely.
It's very popular lie. So I would be
What do they
like,
say
I would
instead?
lie. They just make up something.
Another random job.
I'd be like, I have a makeup brand. What is it? Oh, shoot. See, then I couldn't say what
You can't
it
say
is.
that, Laura. You have to say that you are.
A daycare
You love to-
teacher.
There we go. A chef.
They'd be like, cook this fish.
Cook the fucking fish then, bitch.
Actually, I don't eat fish.
I don't know how to prepare it. Actually, I'm not a fan. Laura, they eat fish
You
there.
have to eat fish there.
How
you
well
don't
would you
have a
survive
choice.
then?
And the only fish you get to eat is the fish you catch, with a
catch.
spear gun.
So then how would you eat? You would have to eat the fish.
Mm-hmm.
You would eat the fish on Survivor?
If I haven't eaten in 4 days,
You're
I would
eating the
literally
fish.
eat a rat turd. Literally, I'm not even kidding. If I have not eaten in 4 days, I will eat a rat turd. I promise you I will. I hate being hungry. I don't like to be hungry.
You're gonna eat something.
Yeah. And if it's a
at that
rat
point, you're
turd,
eating sand.
Yeah. Like out
You're
on
eating
the
crabs, baby. You're in the you're oh my god, the vision I just had. I envisioned Laura on all fours going through the sand with her teeth like this, grinding through the sand until she gets a crab.
And it's like all around my mouth.
A feral sand
We
rat.
took it too far.
We did. I took it too far. I apologize.
This was supposed to be a peak. We're 30 minutes in.
I'm sorry.
And we haven't given anyone advice.
Fuck. We'll put a timestamp for you guys. Okay, my peak. My peak. I got trade last night.
Oh.
Laura, I got trade last night and I got pounded to
Oh
filth.
my God.
And then guess what? I pounded him.
Oh.
And guess what?
He
goes,
nasty.
I know. And he goes, you're an amazing top.
How many times have you ever heard
booty
that?
Eater.
Oh. How much did you pay this man? I'm
So
just
much money. No, honestly, like it was nice because like over the weekend, like I had like an annoying boy situation happen. So I was like, I just need a distraction.
I low-key want you to tell them. Don't do it. Because they're going to get you.
They're going to get me.
They're going to get you.
They're going to get me.
Don't do it.
So I was like, you know what? I want to like I want to be wanted. You know, sometimes you just feel that. You're like, I want to feel like wanted. And so I hooked up with this guy and it went so good and it was so much fun. And he was like 10 years older than me. My vibe.
I feel like
so
you have
handsome.
a crush. A little crush.
I mean, it was just one day. We only hung out one day.
Y'all accomplished a lot in one day.
We really did. I mean, we did everything under the sun.
God.
Everything we could have done, we had done.
How long would you have said that this lasted?
3 hours.
Oh my God.
And I'm not that kind of girl, Laura. You know, I'm not. I'm like an in and out. I want to bust and I want to go. But I stayed there and we talked. And I was there for like 3 hours, dude.
Okay, but some was talking.
Yes.
Okay.
Half of it was like talking.
Okay, that
like,
I can deal with.
Oh,
better.
you thought I was banging.
I thought
for 3
y'all were
hours.
going at it for 3 hours,
no,
and I was like, baby, I would never sit again.
No, it was, but that's why I'm like not comfortable today because my orifices are going through the gills. Trust and believe.
Does it hurt to poopy?
This morning it did.
It did.
It did hurt when it was going out. I didn't really. You know, honestly, I did expect it. I did. I'm like, you know what? Usually when that happens, the next one after, you're like, dang, it's gonna hurt when it goes out. And sometimes you can expect blood too.
No.
100% blood, but this one was no blood. So I was like,
it's a lot of work, baby.
And the thing is, I told him, I was like, I don't want to do that. Like when I went over, I literally was only going over for like side stuff.
Okay.
Like I was not gonna do any kind of penetration. Yep. But then he was like, I want you to pound me. And I was like, okay, like I'm not the one doing it, so I don't care. And then he was like, I want to pound you. And I said, no.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. I was like, and the thing is, I had already unloaded.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when you're already unloaded, you don't want to do more.
Yeah.
So he's like, please, can I just like put it in one time? And I was like, fine, just one time. But then one time turns into 100.
Oh, Lord.
And then you get
3 hours later.
And then I was like, that was not supposed to happen that way. It was not supposed to happen that way. But honestly, I still had fun regardless.
Will you revisit him?
I will be revisiting because it was a good experience. And later this week, he's already like, when can I see you next?
I love that.
Because he lived. Laura, he lived. And that was really nice. And I lived as well. So it was nice to have a pot. This was just literally last night. I'm so tired because I didn't go home till like 2 a.m.
You know what? When people like always are like, where's Manny? What he's doing? Don't ask me that. I'm asleep. I'm literally asleep. Don't ask me where he is because he's out here in these streets, okay?
I am my feet to the streets sometimes.
Don't ask me. We live a much different nightlife.
It's so true.
We have a very vastly different nightlife. I have been asleep for 5 hours.
Laura's been out.
I got in the bed at 10:30 last night.
Oh.
10:30.
I left my house at 10:30.
Yep.
For my excursion. No, I left around 9.
You cannot be catching me.
Yeah, so I was in the streets last night and it was a positive street experience.
I'm happy for you.
And I'm glad it happened. And I'm walking a little funny today, but
it was worth it.
It'll be worth it. And then in 2 days, I'll be completely healed.
That's right.
That's also like one thing about like guys that have big pieces. I don't want to be with that because I can't be with that every single night.
I told you about the boyfriend P. Or
it's
the husband. I'm sorry, it's husband P.
Husband P. I need husband P.
I told you about that.
Because the thing is, I can take husband P every single day.
It's real.
But if it's over that.
Remember, you kind of dated a guy, kind of started to date the guy, and the P was just crazy.
Too much. And I'm like, I don't want to have sex every day. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So it was fun. It was nice. I got to experience my top side. I always say I'm versed. I just tend to bottom more.
Yeah.
But I was able to top last night.
I'm very happy for you.
And he said I was a great top. And I was like,
I'm so happy.
I never
for
even
you.
get to like hear that because I don't get to talk as much.
Well, isn't that fantastic? Let's go ahead and get his name and show his Instagram.
I showed Laura.
Yeah, he is really hot. He's
a
hot.
fine ass man. That's a fine ass man.
He is.
Pits now.
Okay, Pitt. So my Pitt, it's a peek in a pit, but Aaron went back to college. I didn't say that. It's a peek in a pit. Listen, I'm happy for her to go back to college and experience all the things. I feel like every time she goes back to college, she grows up so much and like. It's like an awakening almost. It's like the real world kicks in, you know, and you become more of more reality, more real, more human in a way. Because, you know, you had to slowly grow out of being a kid. And like she's about to be 20. So she's like very much in that age, like transitioning from kid to adult. So it's so good for her. But I'm so happy she got a job there too. So she went back like a week early to go ahead and start her job. But she is back, so no more Aaron content from me. But again, I'm so happy from her. She literally ghosts me and Tyler whenever she goes back because she's with all of her friends.
Busy. Totally.
Yeah, so busy. So busy.
But with her friends, busy with her friends. Like she's busy like living her life there.
Yeah.
Not
that
busy,
part.
but she's busy with her life there.
Yeah.
That's like me here.
She's
Sometimes
busy being like a teenage, you know, like
exactly.
a kid.
That's how I mean. Even my parents. Like if I'm not with my parents, I'm busy with my life. Even when I'm not technically busy doing something, I'm not texting them all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm just doing other things. No, they're not gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
They can't. I can't. After I just told them the trade story, they can't listen.
They can't. But anyways, I'm happy for her.
No, that's good. And I know it's shitty because it's also like the pit in the way of like you miss her and you want to like continue to like chit chat and talk and make content with her and all that stuff. So that's kind of annoying, but
I don't know how people live in houses with multiple children.
Trust and believe that.
Like I've never figured that out. Like Erin is a full-time job in the best possible way. I love her. But sometimes I'm like, wow, imagine like people have like 3 or 4 kids, which I've never figured that one out. The mystery behind that. Our parents both had 3 kids. So like me and you talk about this all the time. We have no idea. And so I'm like, imagine having like Erin here, which is already like its own source of chaos, which I enjoy, but then like having more and like all of them here at the same time.
How? Well, then it just becomes like you just don't have time for yourself as much. That's just reality.
And that's an issue.
That's an issue.
You
know what's funny? I was actually watching a TikTok last night. I was scrolling, and the girl goes, she was like talking. She's like, "You guys, I just had the longest day today. I was at work, and it's like 6:30. She's getting off. She's like, the fact that people after this long ass day where they're dead go home and they have to deal with their children.
That is what blows my fucking mind. It blows my mind.
She got me.
Blows my mind.
So she still has to do that whole long ass work day and like literally like kill herself for her job. And then you have kids too. And then when you get home, it's another job. No. That seems way too crazy. So literally parents out there, good parents out there.
Well, the crazy thing is you don't have to do that.
I know, but they
not
just do what they
having
want
children
to.
is an option.
It's an option. It's
like
a choice.
You don't have to live that life.
Well, especially now, I feel like people get that now.
Yeah. You're so right.
That's not what it was for so long. People were like, well, that's the American dream.
That is the dream. That is like the have to. Like, that's the success. Like, and people have kind of cracked the code on it now that we're all talking to each other through social media.
They're like, oh, wait. I don't really
we
want
don't have
to
do that.
Exactly. All the comments on that video too, I was scrolling, and it was like 45 here without kids and thriving, and like just like all these people that were like, mind you, if you want to have a kid, absolutely have them. That's amazing.
Totally.
But like that doesn't mean everyone wants to.
It's the mystery of like how people do it.
It's how.
How do you do it and are happy? There's got to be happiness because everybody has kids.
Well, they also love it. Like they love their children.
Of course,
they love it.
I love
they love their kids.
And I love my niece more than anything in the world. But I would have a very hard time imagining like 3 of those in my house at one time.
That's why I'm like, how do you just does your love just grow? Does your heart get bigger?
You know what?
Like, what happens?
I can see one.
You can understand.
I can get one.
Yes.
I can like see how people can be happy with one and it not be honestly that big of a deal.
Right. Would you get into 3 territory? What's
3?
going on? No, and then let's talk about the kinds of people that have 12.
I'm not even getting in
Don't
there because bitch, I got a lot of fucking thoughts.
So do I. You know what? But we're not gonna get there. We're not gonna deal. Lord, no, we can't.
Not 12.
We can't.
You took it too far.
I took it too far. But like that's what I'm saying. Like people that just have so many that I'm just like, how do you? honestly, how do you have enough time for them all?
They must like not having like that much free time. Like there must be a joy in that. Yeah, like a doer. Like they must be a joy.
Kids get neglected.
They do.
I'm sorry, they do. When you have too many kids, some kids will feel neglected because there's only enough time in the day.
There's no way two people thinking that there are both people in the relationship. There's no way that two people can spread out enough time for
that work full-time
12
jobs.
Kids. No.
Let's talk about the full-time job.
Even if you don't work a full-time job,
you can't.
I do not believe that you could possibly even come close to giving enough time for 12 children.
I can't either.
No.
I don't believe it. Honestly, at that point, you're pushing me at 4.
Mm-hmm.
You're pushing me at 4.
At 4. I would literally start forgetting names at 4.
Absolutely.
Who are you?
What's your birthday?
Where did you come from?
4 birthdays to plan a year?
That's a quarter of the year you're celebrating birthday months.
Okay, the birthday really got me.
And your husband's.
I didn't even think about that.
That's 6 a year. That's half the year you're doing birthdays if you have 4 fucking kids.
I'm so scared.
Jail.
That is actually... Wow, you guys are...
No one's getting a birthday.
You're so
if I have 4 kids ever, no one's getting a birthday.
No one's getting a birthday.
We're doing no birthdays. No birthdays. No birthdays.
Honestly, birthdays are so stressful. Even to remember birthdays is stressful.
Girl.
So the idea of like having... And then like you got to throw your kids a party. It's
and
not like it's just a little...
You got to make it all special. It has to be special.
So you have to do a moment.
I'm not doing it.
4 times a year.
I'm not doing it.
Neither am I.
No, if I had 4 kids, birthdays are ruled out. Next.
Friends too.
You're lucky if you get Christmas. Either. No.
And no friends are allowed to come over because then we can't have a house full.
We can't be having all that now. I can't even keep up with 3 of us. 4 kids?
4 and kid. That was dark. But let's go ahead and move on to our things.
Let's go ahead and move on.
Because it's true, Laura. You're absolutely correct. And
I think me and Manny live on the outskirts of not having kids, so we are very confused by a lot of things about it. Thank you to Lumi for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. Do you guys want to smell better naked?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's face it, our underarms are the only place we have odor, and that's why I'm excited to tell you about Lumi. It is a whole body deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond.
I'm literally obsessed with my Lumi products. I am fully gagged by it. My mom was like, have you heard of the brand Lumi? And I'm like, yeah, of course I have. We literally talk about it on the podcast, and she's like, I love their stuff. So I thought it was really cute that she was like a fan of Lumi, and Lumi was basically created by an OBGYN who discovered and proved in clinical testing that the vagina is not to blame for day-to-day odor below the belt. And she developed Lumi, a uniquely formulated pH balanced deodorant. It's aluminum-free, skin-safe, and clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours.
That's literally incredible. I love that. They have a starter pack for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, the cream 2 deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. So it's really awesome. They also have a special deal for our listeners only. New customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with the code FULL at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use the code FULL. Full Coverage is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes in life, we're faced with crossroads and we don't know which path to take, but that is why we have BetterHelp. BetterHelp is online therapy and it's very convenient. It's designed to be flexible and suited to your schedule, and it just makes therapy accessible for everyone.
I've been a big advocate for therapy my whole life. I've been to therapy multiple times in my life, and I think it's so amazing to have someone that can bounce back with you and help you get through things that you might not exactly know how to get through yourself, or people in your life might not help you be able to get to. So the fact that BetterHelp is out here that has professionals that can help you get through hard times in life, I think is so amazing and so cool. And you guys should definitely give it a try if you guys are interested in some online therapy.
All you guys have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And what's cool about BetterHelp is that you can actually switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/full coverage today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/full coverage.
Okay, now we're going to go into our advice column. Our column.
You want to start?
I do want to start.
Okay.
Actually, so we have this. I need advice on how to cut off a toxic friend. I don't know how to tell this person that we can't be friends anymore.
Oh, that's hard. Let me tell you something. That's fucking hard.
Because We understand.
I've been through that multiple times.
Me too.
I went through that after high school with one of my best friends. I went through that multiple times in this industry. Not just one time. I've had to cut off multiple people. And that gets really complicated. It was actually way easier in the high school one. High school because there's because there wasn't a million people watching. But there's no. It's hard. It's hard
regardless. Like the whole idea of it is hard. I think that for me, like my advice is when you have to cut someone off, I think it's really smart to cut off super slowly, and you start cutting it like slower and slower and slower. And so what I like to do, or now as I'm older. Because sometimes it depends, right? If your friend is the type of person that does not listen to reason, you can cut them off and say, fuck you. But if you care for this person, if you're like, you know what, it just doesn't work for us, but they can understand where you're coming from in some capacity, sometimes it's worth a conversation, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
And it's okay to dip out because they're fucking crazy. So I feel like it's easier to go slowly, and then you put them in different categories. You categorize them differently. So they're not your good friend anymore. They're just like, oh, they're a friend. And then they're not really your friend anymore. They're an acquaintance. And you just get more distance. You phase them out slowly. I think that it's the part that's intense is like the brutal, like boom.
Yeah, the boom.
The boom is the shock, and that's what makes it a little scarier. But if you just naturally, slowly, don't text them as often, don't hang out with them as often, don't really interact with their socials as much as often, just things like that, just slowly letting them know that you're in a different spot of your life.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's great advice. And so let's say this is a situation where you feel like you want to talk to them and like you want to do it the way where you like have a conversation, like you want to have that moment, and maybe you don't know how it's going to go. You could always write them a long message and tell a letter and just being completely and totally honest. But let me just say this, if you plan on going back and forth with this person and letting them give all your reasons, you're probably going to still end up in that friendship. If you already know that this person is toxic, you already know what you have to do, not what you want to do, but you know what you got to do, and you know you got to get them out of your life. I've had to do this before. I wrote him a long message, and it wasn't like attacking. It was more like, this is where I'm coming from. This is where I'm at in my life. This is where I'm going next. I'm so sorry. Love you so much. You're not going to be a part of that journey with me. Like, it wasn't a letter for a response.
Totally.
It's not like a text message. Like, this is me ending it. And then I blocked that person. So they couldn't respond to me just because, like, and I know that may not sound fair, but it's just like what I had to do because this wasn't a time to go back and forth for me. Like, it wasn't a battle. It wasn't meant to be a battle. Yep. I'm done. I'm done.
You gave your reasons.
And I need to tell you I'm done. So let me just tell you, but don't even reply, girl.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I agree completely. So it really does depend on your situation, but there is moments where you can just be like, I'm cutting them off and I'm done with it. Like there's times where like if people, at the end of the day, if your friends can't listen to reason, or someone that is in your life that cannot listen to reason, then you do not have to give them an explanation.
Yeah.
If they can't hear it, then don't give it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you can just dip.
Yeah.
Dip out, dude. You know what I mean? Just dip the fuck out of it. But if not, then of course it's worth, like Laura's saying, like a well-worded long message.
So they can have closure. And I know they didn't get to write you back and say their feelings, but at least there's a little closure there so they know where it went wrong for you. And it's like, I guess it doesn't really matter like what they have to combat that, because you feel the way you feel and you're done with it. So it doesn't matter what they have to say. Oftentimes toxic people have a lot of good ways to weasel their way back in. So it's like best, to not even get a response and just to let it be let it lie.
Let it lie. Let the dogs lie.
Let the dogs lie. But that is hard. Like it's never, tough. Ever it's easy. Okay. Please help. I got broken up with a week ago and I don't know how to move on and I don't know how to let go. So I got this one a ton. I think a lot of times people have never dealt with like a heartbreak and like they're literally lost because they don't know what's going to happen next and they don't know how to move on. They don't know what to do, like literally. But here is a couple different pieces of advice I have to give you because I have been through breakups and I have been through heartaches. And first and foremost, some of my first breakups, it's interesting because I definitely thought I was going to feel that way forever. Like I hadn't really felt, as a teenager, like that kind of pain in your heart where you're just so devastated, but there's nothing you can do because all you want, like they don't want. So It's gone. So it's heartbreaking. And like you feel like you're going to feel that pain forever. And here's a news flash. You're not. It's actually, depending on what you do in these next few steps, it could move on very quickly and you could find like a peace in your heart again, or I don't know. But anyways, I think cutting off that person at every single angle that you possibly can is by far the best and most effective step of getting over someone. It doesn't matter if the relationship ended badly or not. It's like, I have to block you on absolutely everything. We cannot hang out. We cannot go to the same places. Even if our friends groups are merged, we cannot hang out together until I am over you. And like, you could tell them that. You could be
Absolutely.
like, hey, I have to fall out of love with you. So for now, I am going to block you on everything just because I don't want to see you. I don't want to see your stuff. Like, I need to fall out of love with you. And I think that's one of the most powerful steps. And then also not just laying there in your sorrows, like getting up and doing something that you wouldn't have done with that person, hanging out someone that you wouldn't have hung out with them, like something out of the element of that relationship, like going and hanging out with a new friend, going to drive somewhere, going for a drive, like anything that you wouldn't have done in a relationship that's different to you, because that is going to take your mind off of it. But if you're doing things, I'm going to my friends, but I'm going to our favorite restaurant that we always went to, you're putting yourself in the fire. So it's like, basically, it sucks, but it's like switching up your life like immediately in everything you do, you know, and it sucks, but doing the hard shit like that, which isn't easy, is really the best steps to get over a heartache. I
don't know as much, obviously, on this one, because I've never been in a long-term relationship where I was like fully in love and I got heartbroken. Like, none of that stuff that's really ever happened to me. But what I do like take to heart a lot is the saying that feelings are not facts. And I think that a lot of people think that, like you were saying, that feelings are going to last forever and that this is what you're feeling is what is the reality, but it's not the reality. Things will change. You will get over him. It's been a 1 week. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to just take some time. Just take it day by day and stay busy. Yeah. Stay busy. I think that's so important. It's like, whether like this is a time to like maybe pick up a new hobby. Yep. This is it. You know, the whole idea of like people doing like the revenge body thing on their ex, whatever. It's because they are staying busy by, let's say, like working out, getting active, doing something that's like for them. Yep. I think it's really, really important to just kind of invest in yourself after that, because when you're invested in yourself and you're invested in your own happiness, the sorrow from something else like that doesn't hit as hard. And I think after a breakup, it's a really great time to start building back some of your friendships, maybe friendships that you neglected a little bit because you were comfy. Yeah, you left to the wayside because you were all comfy in this relationship and you didn't really need those friends. Now would be a good time for the support, to have support, whether it be your family, your friends, but only people that do genuinely make you feel good. If there's people that constantly get on your nerves or are toxic narcissists, it's when you're going through a heartache, it's honestly best to remove those people from your situation because you're already going through the gigs. Absolutely. So that those people can ignite that. So yeah, you want to rely on the good ones and try to rekindle some friendships. Couldn't agree more. So that's our little advice right there. That's our advice. Take Laura's advice. She knows this shit. She knows what she's talking about. I try. Okay, this is a cute one. Financial advice. Habits that will help you save money. Oh, I like that. This is, I feel like, a really, really good one, especially because Laura knows things about this stuff too. Laura's a professional. A professional liver. I'm really not at all. I would start with if you're looking to save money rather than invest money, I would start looking. When I had no money, I always had money because I was very good with budgeting my money. Yes. And so I had every single dollar that was coming out of my bank account every month on the regular written down. It was accounted for. It was every dollar. And really getting your finances in order, a big part of that is accounting for what you're spending. Exactly. And not spending out of your means. I think that's a huge And you cannot fix a problem if you don't know what the problem is. Exactly. Where the problems lie. So first is getting your accounts in order. Every single penny that's coming out of your account on a regular basis. I'm constantly spending this much on food. How much are you spending on fast food week? How much are you spending on entertainment? How much are you spending on going out to eat? How much are your bills and what bills can you have cut? What are your interest rates on loans that you have taken out? Could things be refinanced? Exactly. To save money. But I feel like first figuring out what your spending is to figure out where the problem may be. And there may not be a problem, but if you want to save more money, you got to find out areas where you could cut. Exactly. And I think that also, like, there's so many hidden fees and so many different things. Let's say like a Netflix account that you have that you don't even really use, but you're spending $15 a month on it. That's just $15 a month that you get back if you cancel your subscription. So it really is important to kind of track your accounts, like your bank accounts, see the statements that are going out, what's leaving your account daily is what's leaving the account more than what's coming into the account. You know, that's a huge factor. And you just have to be a little bit more on it and a little bit more aware of what's going on in your own financial pocket if you want to save. Let's say someone wants to invest. Let's take it to the other side. Let's say someone wants to invest in something, they have some extra money. I think that it's important to do your research and research on things. What is something that is like classically something that will appreciate. For example, property. That's something that you can always invest in, that you know that it's basically like a mini little savings account in a house form. You know what I mean? Like you are putting your money into something that you could potentially even live in or sell in the future and get your money back into. So that's just something that's a really great resource that if you have the money to do it, not everyone does, and that's of course totally fine. But if you can, invest in things that aren't as risky in the beginning. Yeah. When you don't have as much money to spend. Spend it on things that are like, okay, like I feel like this will be good, like getting a house or putting a down payment on a home. Investing in yourself. Yeah. You know?
I also think like if you're trying to like specifically save a certain amount of money, first figure out what that amount is, figure out what's eating all your money and where you could get the money to save, where you could cut so you can pull the money to save from. And while you're saving that money, a very important thing to do is to completely forget that that money exists. That is not your side pocket. That is not, oh, but I really want this shirt, so I'm just going to pull for myself. The money cannot exist to you. I had an insurance policy on my car whenever I didn't have any money. What the deductible was $1,000. So I had to keep $1,000 in my savings. And no matter what, that money did not exist to me. Didn't have enough money for rent. I would go work at the bars that weekend and be the Bud Light girl. The money was never pulled from no matter what. And that's really how you save money, is forgetting the money exists.
And the savings, and let it do its fucking thing.
Let it do its thing. It's not your, you know, little dip into pile. It's not your just in case. Forget that it exists.
And let it appreciate over time. I think that's really important. Just invest in things that can make you money over time, or something that you feel like comfortable investing in.
Yeah. My turn? My husband of 7 years and father of our 2 little boys is having an emotional affair for 2 months with a bartender at a golf course. I found out by the girl DMing me on Instagram telling me he blocked her number. I was 9 months pregnant with our second baby, who is now 9 months old, and was scheduled to give birth 7 days later. When I confronted him, he took accountability and showed me everything. Isn't that crazy? They said he had no intentions of ever hanging out with her outside of the golf course and just wanted to. So basically, he was emotionally cheating, getting free drinks, like constantly. And this girl, like going to that golf course to hang out with her, but they didn't do anything. But he said he was emotionally cheating. He has tried everything in his power to make it up to me to regain the trust, but I'm so heartbroken and feel so guilty for still feeling 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Oh. He's done everything right by society's standards of winning me back and taking responsibility for his actions. He's also tentative and caring father of his boys. I feel so lost to even begin to forgive him, since I know other people get cheated on far worse. Okay, I just have to stop you there. If he cheated on you or did something that is out, like, that is horrible. What he did. Like, it's horrible. I feel like you're in a way trying to be like, gosh, men do so much worse, and my man only emotionally talked to this bartender. Right.
So I should forgive him so quickly.
So because I shouldn't feel this way. No, you should. You feel that way for a reason. I would feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I understand, too, that it makes it a lot harder because they have kids together. So when kids come into play, obviously comes a different kind of attachment, where you literally have a little being that holds both tethers together like this in that kind of capacity. So it makes it a lot harder. And it's like, you know, he's still being a great father to your kids. And it really just depends if you want to move forward, right? Do you want to move forward with him or do you not? And I think that's like really boiling down to it. It's like, do you want to continuously be in a relationship where it's like, yeah, he fucking tore your trust up and spit it out? And do you want to rebuild that all up again and really work for it? Or do you want to be like, fuck you, I can't believe this happened to me, you can do it again, and not be as trusting? It really is just depending on like what she feels on the inside, what she really wants to do.
I feel like she feels guilty for not being able to forgive him.
For not being able to forgive him? Or she feels guilty for being with him still?
I don't know. It kind of felt like she was saying, like, listen, I know people have done so much worse, but I can't even bring myself to begin to forgive him. And he's done everything right after he did that. He told her everything. Yep. He never did it again, never goes back to the golf course. Like, he becomes this best father ever. And she can't even begin to forgive him.
I think that she needs to give herself grace and give herself time. And like, honestly, this could be one of those things where it just takes some time and she'll figure out the emotions as it comes along. Like, you don't need to fucking forgive him immediately. You don't need to forgive him forever. If you don't want to,
I don't think she has to forgive him ever.
At all. Like, you don't have to.
Like, if you can't come to forgive them, I don't think you have to convince yourself that what he did wasn't that bad, so you should be able to forgive him. I don't think you have to forgive him at all. As a matter of fact, I don't care that he's a good father. He can be a good father and you can be divorced.
Absolutely. And he can be a good father from another house.
He can be a divorced good father. Like, I don't care. He did what he did. If you can't get past it and you want to be happy with someone who wouldn't do that shit to you, especially while you're fucking pregnant.
Oh.
Then
that on top of it too.
Girl, think about that. Then don't try to manipulate yourself into thinking what he did wasn't so bad and he's been on his best behavior, so you should forgive him. Absolutely not.
Do you think that
if you feel the way you feel, you feel the way you feel. And that's your intuition saying, time's up, buddy. No, time's up.
Do you think that he deserves points for coming clean?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
That's a good question.
You know, I think it's tough. Like, again, like, this is one of those situations where it's just hard in general, like, to, you know, come to terms with something like this. I feel like, playing devil's advocate, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, at least he was able to admit what he did and admit that he was wrong, and he apologized and he owned it and he showed her everything. I think that there's something that's very like, okay, I'm glad that happened. But at the end of the day, if you still feel what you feel, it's what you feel.
The thing is, I know that if that happened to me, like, if this makes her feel any better, I would be in her boat. I probably wouldn't be able to ever forgive that.
Right.
And I wouldn't even care that he came clean. Like, I would be like, I'm sorry, I cannot forgive you. No, I'm not sorry, actually. I cannot forgive you. Like, like, I don't love you like that anymore. Like, it's broken. Like, the love was broken. Like, I just don't feel that same way anymore. And so if it makes her feel any better, like, that... on paper, sure, points. In real world, that shit happens to you. You're not going to want to be shedding out any points in the motherfucker.
It's on paper. Like, that's why I'm even saying it. I'm like, do you feel like he deserves points?
That's probably how she feels. Like, she probably feels that way. Like, she probably feels like, damn, he did all this and I still feel like,
fuck you.
I can't even begin to forgive him.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, paper is paper, but reality is reality.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like, how you feel is how you feel. And like, at the end of the day, you just shouldn't have to explain your feelings or minimize them for someone else.
Women leave their men for much less.
Women leave their men for much less?
Yes, women get a divorce for much less than that. So it's like, it seems like there's a guilt there because he's like a good dad and like, you know, but he did this one thing. I'm like, well, girlies out there have left their men for much less than this. Oh, for sure.
And they've left their wives for much less too.
Much less.
Like, absolutely. It's much less.
So
truth.
If you're feeling like you're on the outs of it, there should be no guilt and like, oh, he came clean and he's been great ever since. Like, he did what he did. You feel the way you feel. And that's life.
Exactly. And I think it just depends on what you're feeling, and you go based off of your feelings, and you listen to your gut. You listen to your intuition. She never lies.
The intuition speaking.
She's speaking, and you just have to listen to it, and you have to go with your gut instinct. And whatever that gut instinct is, you go with it, and then you know, whatever happens after that. But at least you know you're like, I listened to what I truly thought was best.
I like that.
You know? My turn.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. So it's the first year living with my boyfriend, and it's getting rough because we're kind of coexisting. What do I do?
I feel like this is good to like potentially live with someone before you marry them. I lived with Tyler, not for a long time. I think we lived together for half a year, 6 months before we got married. But I think this is why it's good to do that.
So you can test the waters. So you can, but the thing is, she's saying that it feels like they're coexisting.
Yeah.
Is coexisting bad though?
Coexisting is just like, we're not
like roommates.
We're roommates. That's exactly what it means.
Okay, so it's almost like it's giving very like separate rooms.
We're going to work. We're coming home. Like, nothing special is happening here. It doesn't feel like a relationship anymore. It's just coexisting.
But I have a question, like, because obviously based off of just my own experience, because I literally don't know. Is that not like as you are together for like a long time, is that not like normal to feel like you are coexisting? Is that bad?
Me in just a marriage standpoint, like me and Tyler, we don't coexist. We are very intermixed in every single thing that each other does.
Oh, okay, so
like,
coexisting is almost like doing their own thing.
That to a point, and just like kind of just like living and doing nothing else. Like
Got
me and
it.
Tyler,
Like you go date nights and cute stuff.
Date nights, and like he literally went to Trader Joe's and came home with flowers for me for literally no reason. I'm not trying to brag, but that's not coexisting.
Right, that's like putting an effort in.
Like we play video games together every night.
Yes,
that's not coexisting. That's like doing. We have card games we play every single day. Like we have things we do together because we're not coexisting. We are literally partners. In a relationship. We're partners. Like we're best friends.
Yes.
We have fun together. We swim together. We lay out together. We play video games together. We are like,
it's true.
If we have a TV show, we both want to watch it.
Yes.
You know, we can't watch episodes without each other. Like that's not just coexisting, going through the motions of life and just being under the same roof. You know what I mean? It's called codependent. We're actually codependent. We are codependent, which can also be unhealthy. but
maybe codependent is better than coexistent.
I know. Honestly, I know. And
so that's the difference. So that's kind of what we're saying. I honestly, again, like never lived with a partner, so to me, I'll confuse myself with the terms because I don't even know a lot of what they mean. But that to me is like what you guys have is what I want.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the coexisting, if that's what like they mean by that. But whatever this is what I would like to have.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that
you want a friend. You want to live with someone that you enjoy being around, and y'all do all the fun shit together that y'all want to do. And y'all have a ton of different things.
Yes.
Y'all love doing. It could be anything and everything. Yes. But y'all love doing shit together because you love each other and you're best friends. That's like that's a marriage. That's what you want.
So then what do you think what do you think for her, like let's say giving advice, what we should tell her? Like, do you think that you should get out of it then? Like, get out of living with them or get out of the relationship?
I think give it a shot and talk and communication.
Yeah, I agree.
I think give it a shot.
Effort in. I think this is like an effort thing.
So first, address the problem. Don't just, I'm okay tonight. I'm going to try to like do this. No, have an open conversation. Hey, I love you so much. I love our relationship, but I feel like we're kind of coexisting. You know, he can say what he needs to say about that.
Yes.
What if we did this every Monday? What if we started doing this, you know, and try to work on it. And then if it doesn't go anywhere from there,
then you know your answer.
Then you know your answer.
But I think that it is worth definitely like the trying. I think that that's really important. And like, it takes two to tango, obviously. Like you have to try, he has to try. Like there has to be this kind of like, again, two people make a relationship, not just one. So you have to make sure that you guys are both communicating and coming from places of trying. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying and he's not, then you have your answer.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, you can go fuck yourself. I'm going to end this relationship.
Yeah.
You know, or vice versa. So it really depends. Like, do you want to put that effort in?
Yeah.
If you don't want to, then that's your answer as well. Be like, you know, maybe I just don't want to be with him anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really important, like, to communicate that. And one, try if you guys want to stop coexisting, you have to put effort into it.
Yeah. I think that's really it. Communication and effort, and then go from there.
It's so, do you know what's nice about our podcast?
What?
The amount of perspectives that we have is shocking.
Yes, it is.
Because we have me, a single gay man, you, a married woman, and we have Tyler, too.
Yep.
Who's a straight man who's married. And it's nice to be able to have so many different, like,
perspectives on a topic. I
agree. Shout out to FabFitFun for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys. Listen, FabFitFun is that girl. It is the best way to save money on beauty and lifestyle products from brands that you love. And you can discover new brands, treat yourself to something nice without having to overpay for products. Because you know what? I know about that testing new product life. And these are not sample size, low quality products or discontinued lines or things that you can find in discount stores. These are like literally like Fenty, Kate Spade, Glossier, so much more for up to 70% off. I personally think it's genius. I mean, over 1 million people have signed up for it, 1 million customers, which is absolutely insane. I think the subscription boxes are so fun and they seem so cute. And it's like a treat that you get to unopen and reveal. I think it's really, really fun to do, which I think is so freaking cool. You guys, sign up for fabfitfun.com/fool, customize your box, and get access to discounts up to 70% off on brands like Fenty, Free People, Our Place, to name a few. Not in love with this season's options? Take the credit to shop their exclusive flash sales of up to 70% and save on the biggest name brands out there. If you join FabFitFun as a new seasonal member right now, you'll get up to 20% off your membership. So your first box is only $47.99 for up to a $300 value box each season. But only while supplies last. FabFitFun boxes do sell out. So join FabFitFun today and save at FabFitFun.com/fool. That's FabFitFun.com/fool. Thank you so much to Hello Tushy for sponsoring this portion of Fool Coverage, you guys. I am a Hello Tushy stan. I love my Hello Tushy bidet, you guys. The climate between your cheeks is about to get capital M muggy, swamp ass. Plus, dry TP don't mix, resulting in shreds of toilet paper all up in your business. Avoid that sticky stitch by switching to Hello Tushy bidet. Hello Tushy bidet cleans your bum with a fresh stream of water that is 2 times better than wiping and prevents poo particles from spreading to your hands and everything you touch.
Attaches to your existing toilet, so you do not have to have an electrician to install it. You can actually install it in around 8 minutes, and it cuts down on your toilet paper use by 80%. So there's a couple different amazing reasons why to get the Tushy bidet, but also we have a discount code for you here today.
We love it.
You guys can go to hellotushy.com/fool and use promo code FOOL to get 10% off plus free shipping on your first bidet order. That's hellotushy.com/fool for 10% off. This next one is, I'm in my 20s and I'm so lost in my career. How do you find what you're meant to do? I'm struggling so hard with motivation, feeling like I'm not good enough. I also feel behind my peers and just lost. Any advice? Would appreciate. Love you. Well, we love you too.
We love you. This is very common right now, actually.
This question?
No, it's very common, like what's happening in like people in their 20s right now.
Oh, yeah.
This is very, like, you're not alone.
Normal.
Yes.
I felt that way myself too, because like, listen, I couldn't get into college. And when I did get into college, I dropped out of college. And then I was lost at 24, floating around space. And like all my friends were getting ready to graduate college, including my boyfriend. And I was just like,
what about me? Yes.
I'll do YouTube.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm not telling you to do YouTube. What I'm telling you to do, if you're anyone out there, regardless of your age, it doesn't matter what your age is. If you're floating out there, you're not happy what you're doing, or you're not doing anything, you don't know what the fuck to do, the number one thing to do is something. It doesn't matter what it is. Do something, because something will lead you to this, to that, to meeting that person, to this connection, to hearing about this person's experience, and it leads you to the next thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing.
Right.
And this is coming straight out of self-help books. If you don't know what to do and you're lost, take up a class, take up a workout club, a class, a new job, a side job, a hobby, volunteer, make a new friend, do something, and you're gonna have to put effort in. It's not just gonna
it doesn't miraculously
drop in your lap, and and again, I always say this: motivation doesn't fall from the sky. Motivation comes from doing. You have to get up, you have to get moving, even when you don't want to, and all of a sudden, motivation kicks in gear.
Momentum keeps going.
It does.
Energy just doesn't stop.
It doesn't just fall out of the sky, though. It's not. You're just not gonna wake up out of bed and go, you know what? I'm so motivated right now. No, you have to do the hard part, and that's doing stuff when you don't want to do it, and Googling and researching, what in my area can I do? Volunteering sounds fun. Let me look up ways I can do that. Sports hobbies sound fun. Let me look up public teams. Or maybe I need to hang out with that one friend that keeps asking me to hang out, and I blow her off because I'm not motivated to go do anything. Get over it. Get up. Get moving. Give her a shot. You know what I mean? It's like doing something will lead you somewhere. Doing nothing
leads you nowhere. I mean, at the end of the day, like, life is about living, right? Like, if you want to have something that is going for you, you want to do things, and you have to actually go out and do. You throw spaghetti into the wall until it sticks.
That's right.
You throw it until it sticks. You keep trying different things until you finally find something that you're passionate about. One of my brothers, has done multiple things in his life that he's been very passionate about at the time, but you know what? It just didn't work out. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. And to him, it's been something where it's like, he's loved being able to reinvent and find different avenues of himself to be like, you know what, this is something I'm also passionate about. Maybe this is something that's going to stick with me. Maybe something that he thought he was passionate about didn't really work out, and he didn't really love it.
Yep.
So now he's doing something else that he loves and is enjoying. And it's really about doing things that interest you to the fullest that they can. And if it doesn't work, then you just move on to the next thing that interests you.
That's right. And it doesn't have to be, gosh, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just sign up for college and just, that's a huge commitment.
Huge.
That's a lot of money. So what if you started with, hanging out with a new friend, taking up a new hobby, joining a new class. You know what I mean? Like something small that will branch you off into something way, way bigger.
Absolutely. And the thing is like too, even though let's say if you guys did want to start college, you don't have to go in with specifically like a major you want to major in and like and you don't have to go in like straight into like a 4-year. You can go into community college. Like there's these things that you can do to lessen the blow on you and your finances and your pockets and stuff like that. And you can go, let's say if you wanted to go to college and say like, okay, well, I'm going to take a class. And I'm not saying just take a class like a workout class. I'm saying like take a class at a like community college and be like, you know what, this idea kind of interested me. I'm going to take it and see if it's something I want to flourish. If it is, then you can move on with that. But it is, you know, you don't have to immediately go into like, I'm going into a 4-year.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah.
You go to community college and you can be like, okay, you know what? I might take a couple units and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And then you move on from there.
And you may meet someone in college. You may learn from a teacher who tells you about their experience.
Yes.
And ding, 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 light bulbs go off. And you're like, no, that's what I want to do.
Different parts of the country.
Right.
Like, it can just trail you. Life trails you.
It
so
also,
different places.
You learn just as much about what you don't want to do as much as, that's why Erin, I'm so happy she's gone through a number of jobs because she knows the type of people she doesn't want to work with. She knows the job she doesn't want. She still has so much more to learn about what she will and won't want, but she's like learning and navigating all the things. You have to cross out all the shit you don't want to do. So that way you can go ahead and be like, okay, I know I don't like any of that. So my next thing that I'm going to do, whatever it may be, won't involve any of that because we've already X-nayed all that. You know what I mean? That's also another important reason of doing stuff. And that doesn't always mean work or school. That means anything.
Experience means living.
Anything. Living.
You have to do stuff.
Living.
You have to get out of bed and go and do it and motivate yourself.
Yep.
I know it's hard. You know, especially let's say you want to have depression on top of it.
Yeah.
Makes it even
so
harder.
Hard.
But you have to do it because at the end of the day, it's still your life.
Motivation's never going to come falling out of the sky.
Exactly. And no one's going to be there pulling you, especially as an adult. Like, baby, you got to make shit happen for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
No one is going to be in your freaking bed, pulling you out of bed, making you get ready for, like, just, you got to do it for yourself.
Yep. Amen to that.
Amen, sister. Okay, this will be our last one, but I would love to talk about this. Toxic family members. How to deal with them. How do you deal with toxic family members?
You don't.
You cut them out.
Baby, just because they're family don't mean a damn thing. I'm going to tell you that straight up. Okay?
It's true, you guys. It really is true.
People
and I know,
put so much on just because they're blood.
Uh-huh.
And family members take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
And that's what happens. They're able to behave how they want to behave, treat people how they want to treat them because they know you can't go anywhere because you're family. I'm going to show you.
Maybe watch me disappear. Vanish.
Gone.
Like Genie. I dream of Genie.
Gone. I'm going to show you.
Uh-huh. I think it's very important that when it comes to family, you know, we both are like very, like, we love our family. We want to make sure our family is good and everything is all great and dandy. But you cannot forfeit who you are and your happiness for your family's happiness. You have to be able to do things for yourself.
I feel
and if
like, yeah.
someone is a family member that all they ever do is drain you and shade you and try to ruin you in some capacity, you do not have to deal with them.
Yep.
Or you don't have to, like, you, especially as you get older, you guys, you'll notice, like, as you get older and you become more independent of things. This is a hard part too, obviously, because when you're younger, you are dependent on your family and things like that. But as you get older, you come into your own independence, things will change for you because you get to choose the people that you're around.
You sure do.
You know what I mean?
The less you need from your family, the more you get real picky.
Right.
Real picky.
I mean, it's true. And like at the end of the day, like what you really want is family that is there for you through thick and thin and loves you for who you are from the bottom of their heart. And they don't want something from you.
Yeah.
That is what you want from family. And
that's what family's supposed to be there
that's what it's supposed to be.
Family's not supposed to put you down and make you feel like shit or take advantage of you anytime they're around you. That is not what family's for. So if a family member is out there acting a fool and doing what they are absolutely not there for and hindering you, it is absolutely okay to cut the cord.
Absolutely. And you guys, it's huge in the LGBT community, but the whole idea of the chosen family, you know, that's what it is. It's about you spend your time with people. You give your all to the people that care about
That's
you.
family.
That's family.
That's family.
That's real family. Someone that doesn't expect something from you and someone that wants to bring you up all the time and is there for you when you fall. That is what family is. And so if you don't have that with your blood, you can find that with your fucking water.
Shauna.
And that's the true tea.
Spilt here today.
It's spilled, and that is what it is. If your family is draining you, you got to cut them off, babe.
It's okay.
You gotta do it. It's okay to cut them off. I know it's sad. That is the reality.
Okay, I have one more short one.
Give it.
How to not take things personally.
Oh,
okay,
that's hard.
I got about 2 years with this. I was in a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, not shocking.
Not at all.
And I saw this TikTok, and the girl was like, the best advice I was ever given was to not take it personally. So then I got into the world of wanting to look up, why do we take things personally, and what does it mean? And it's projection.
100%.
Well, and sometimes things do look personal, but they're really not. Like, a person's being short with me, not texting me back. What if they're really just busy and it has nothing to do with you? You're projecting all those feelings that you feel about yourself onto other people to take it personal. And it was
100%.
the best advice I ever got, because whenever I stopped taking things personal, even when they looked and seemed so personal, and I was just like, okay, that's their opinion, that has nothing to do with me whatsoever, I found so much peace and power in that.
I could not agree more. And it's actually something that literally I was just dealing with this week. Because recently I did a review on some products, and I was using a brown cream shadow, or a brown cream paint essentially, on my eyes, and I was blending, and I say, oh, this looks good, like this blended nicely. And the amount of comments I had that were like, it's so patchy, it doesn't look good, you don't know what you're doing. The reason I did not take those comments personally is because 99% of those people have no idea what makeup even is.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what it is. They just want to shade me for the idea of being shady.
Yeah.
And they see, and a lot of them don't even know what patchy even means.
Yeah.
I will not take, and I hope this is for everyone, okay? When it comes to something that's in your profession, something that's in your wheelhouse, and something that you do well, and you know how to do things, people that have no idea what they're talking about and they give you shit for it, pay them no mind.
You have to be careful who you take criticism from.
Exactly. Be careful on who you accept that criticism from, because at the end of the day, if a doctor is out here that's telling me their thing and I'm like, oh, I don't believe that, you're just not a good doctor. At the end of the day, my opinion is not the same caliber as the doctor's opinion.
It's so, your opinion so does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
It does not matter. If you're a professional baseball player and someone said, oh, he hit it the wrong way, bitch, you go be a professional baseball player then.
Yeah.
And then you give me advice. For example, if I'm doing something that's like, oh, my makeup looked terrible, it was wrong, it was whatever. I've been doing this for 10 plus years. Maybe I don't don't about your opinion if you don't even wear foundation. I don't care. So I do not take that at heart when it comes to like taking things personally. Don't take it to heart if it's especially if it's about something that you know you're a professional at and know that you do well.
I think one of the most important ways of like not taking things personally is catching when you are taking things personally.
Yeah, you have to know.
Yeah, you got to know when you're doing it. You got to catch yourself up in it. You got to go, oh, I just took that personal.
That's what happened to me. When someone said like, you can't blend, I'm like, I can't blend. And then I was like, wait.
You can't take that.
I know how to blend.
Yeah, so you cannot take. You have to catch yourself taking it personally first, and then once you get yourself caught up, you need to have a new rule for yourself.
Yeah,
whatever that may be, you need to reevaluate.
You reevaluate. And I'm like, oh wait,
okay, whoa.
Their opinion actually.
Why am I taking this personal?
Why am I taking it personally? It doesn't even matter. It's totally fine. And that's just something that in general, like
maybe
for the future.
This person had a bad day and they're taking it out on me. Maybe this person's busy and didn't have time. It has nothing to do with me. You know?
I couldn't agree more. And I'm glad that you actually ended that, because I think there's something very valid to take things personally. And like, you guys, at the end of the day, if they ain't paying your bills, you don't pay them no mind.
As the great RuPaul said,
and the great
pay them bitches no mind.
Pay them bitches no mind. If they ain't paying your bills, you pay the bitches no mind. And you got to do what makes you happy. And if people don't like that, then they don't like it. It's just their opinion. Opinions aren't facts.
So true. Opinions aren't facts.
Not facts. And do not take shit from people who don't even know what they're talking about.
And that is it for this episode of Full Coverage. We hope you guys enjoyed this advice segment. If you did, we will definitely be doing it again.
100%. I actually like doing it. I still have half my fucking things like screenshotted.
Next time.
For next time. If you guys enjoy it, we can definitely do another one. I had a lot of fun doing it.
And that is it for today's episode, guys. Don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.